Hello and welcome to Bridging the Gap, connecting in a disconnected world. I'd like to start this year's sessions with a little bit more of a talk of a practice of resilience. With so much going on, with so much to process, sometimes we shut down. And sometimes in that silence, we can find strength. So I'd like to talk about what a quieter kind of resilience looks like today. The kind that may not be impressive from the outside, the kind that doesn't come with breakthroughs or big giant realizations. This is something I'm actively practicing and looking for in my own family. There are seasons of our life when resilience looks like big problem solving, advocating, learning everything you can, holding multiple perspectives, staying grounded when things feel hard. I know that version oh so well. Many of us do, especially parents, caregivers, couples, families, people in community, and even us as solo individuals. But lately, I've been learning that there are moments when that version of resilience actually starts to just weigh us down. It becomes so big that we need to solve, fix, do so many different things. I notice that in myself when things pile up. My instinct is to make meaning quickly, to integrate, to understand, turning that moment of growth and changing it while I'm still standing there. It's strength, but it can become exhausting. So we don't need to metabolize an experience into wisdom while we're still living it, right? Sometimes resilience isn't about adding more tools. Sometimes it's just about putting it down and letting it be, observing, settling, basically just stopping for a moment to breathe, to allow silence, and to become curious. I have to watch myself as well. Patterns tend to repeat themselves when stress builds. I tend to hold everyone's perspective, track everyone's emotional state, anticipate what might come next. How can I be there of assistance? Try to stay one step ahead of discomfort to try and avoid it when that may be that moment to settle in it. And that comes from care, that comes from love, it comes from wanting family to feel safe and supported. But if we're not careful, we end up carrying too much. I know I do. And when I carry too much, I can't actually offer the regulation and presence I want to give. I'm technically showing up, but my nervous system is already overloaded. So my work has been learning to stop adding ingredients to the soup. So this quiet resilience in real life, what does it look like? It shows up in small, very unglamorous ways. It looks like choosing not to solve something today. It looks like uncertainty existing without filling every space. It looks like pausing, reflection, and meaning making, and letting my body just settle first. This is something I try to practice intentionally because I know that if I don't regulate myself, I can't help co-regulate anyone else around me. Regulation doesn't come from effort, it comes from capacity. And we know when our bowl is full, sometimes we have to let it settle and sit. Sometimes it's cloudy, and we need to let the dirt settle to the bottom so we can see clearly. And that capacity comes from care. You have to allow that, right? It's not an endless availability of resilience. One of the hardest things I've had to learn is that I don't need to be endlessly available in order to be loving. Boundaries, they aren't withdrawal, they're oxygen. It's how I protect my energy. It's how you're not abandoning your family. It's about making sure that we can stay kind, steady, and present without burning out. I've learned that when I give myself permission to pause, to rest inside, the uncertainty, something just shifts. I don't have to force regulation, though I want to try so often. When I don't, it just starts happening naturally, and not just me, but those around me, right? It's not about pressuring it to happen, allowing it to be, letting other people give time to regulate themselves. Sometimes that may not look like what you want it to look like, but it's not for you to do anything but try to regulate yourself and allow that presence around you. So, what this looks like in my family, in my own home, this means choosing one lane per day instead of trying to be everything at once. Containing conversations so they don't spiral late into the night. Give yourself a time frame. If two dysregulated people aren't figuring things out in 15, 30 minutes, stop. Observe what just happened. Take a break and come back to it at a time that you mutually agree upon. Even if it's to agree to disagree later, come back later. 4 p.m. on Tuesday. Thursday after lunch. Whenever there's a time that doesn't surround pressure and you know that it's both happening, but make sure you come back to it, right? Creating these moments of connection don't require processing immediately every time. Behavior doesn't change at the moment you want it to. Things have to settle first, right? And you have to regulate yourself in order to make meaning of any change or a thought process. So letting myself be supported without fixing or reframing is also strength. These choices don't always feel productive, but they're protective, right? When I care for myself this way, I notice that I'm more emotionally available. I have more to be able to hold and listen and become curious. I respond instead of react. I can sit with my kids' family's discomfort without needing to rush them through it. Co-regulation happens because I'm regulated, not because I try harder. So I want to name this clearly because so many caregivers worry about this. Choosing rest is not avoidance. Choosing less isn't failure. Pausing growth and that work is not giving up. Sometimes growth just looks like pacing, stopping observing. Resilience looks like restraint sometimes, but that insight, that'll come later for each of us. It always does, but if we don't exhaust ourselves trying to extract them too soon. So a practice I come back to when things feel heavy, I place my hand on my chest and remind myself, stop. It's okay. I'm safe. We're safe. I don't need to solve this today. I say it as a boundary. I say it as permission, and I say it as care. Because resilience is only built through effort, right? It isn't only built through effort. It's sustained through compassion. It's sustained through containment and knowing when to stop carrying. When we care for ourselves in this way, we don't just survive hard situations, we model something that's extremely powerful for our families and those around us and ourselves. We find a quieter, steadier way forward. So if we just take one moment to stop, if that's all we have, and place a hand on our heart, our stomach, our center, and know that We're just here. Take that with you. And sometimes things come up behind you that you don't expect either. So, thank you so much for sharing this moment, this day. I hope we have a wonderful moment ahead of us as we take this with us in practice, and looking forward to more sessions of understanding, compassion, resilience, and love. Please share this. Tell me what you think about having these integrated into our mindfulness sessions, and what what you do for resilience, what you do to stop and observe, what helps you and what can help others, and what you find helps those around you. That'd be great to hear in the comments. Please like, share. Thank you for sharing this with me, and have a great day.